guest today. He's a phenomenal photographer. He's got some videography. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
I'm Ahmed Rashed, wildlife and nature photographer. I am a pharmacist, but I do photography as a hobby. But right now it's taking most of my time.
Wow, that's amazing. A professional. So I know there's a lot of you that are out there that are most probably watching this podcast, and it's beautiful that you can have your profession as well as your love and your hobby, that one day potentially you can move straight into it. So tell me a little bit about your journey. Where did you start? When did you pick up this love for photography?
Actually, I started a little bit early. I'm doing photography now for like 17 years. I don't look that old.
You don't, absolutely.
For like 17 years. I started with a very basic camera, with a very startup camera. It was the Nikon D5200. It's a crop sensor camera. It's very basic, yeah. I started with the kit lens, then I moved forward till right now.
That is unreal. And tell me, from a point of view, what is your favorite style of photography?
I do wildlife, I do nature, I do night sky photography. That's the most I love. I love the nature.
Why did you get into nature? Was it just because of the colors, the texture, animals moving?
I'll tell you how it started. Usually I started like doing camping in the desert. Since I started doing camping in the desert, I started checking out things that can be photographed. The sky, the wildlife in the desert. I like this feeling of the nature. I like to be connected with the nature.
Absolutely. You know, the interesting thing is, when I started with photography as well, I looked at a friend of mine's wildlife photography, and I looked at the colors, and I looked at just the composition, and just how I didn't actually know about composition or anything. I wasn't in photography. But just the beauty of nature and wildlife and connecting with it was absolutely phenomenal.
Exactly.
So now tell me a little bit more about your journey. So now what camera are you shooting on?
I progressed from the 5200. Right now I'm having the Z9 with a 400 2.8.
Beautiful.
That's my main setup. I have also the Z8 with another lens like 7-200, 100 to 400. That's my backup lens. And for sure I have some lenses for the astrophotography too. Yeah. I use the 14 to 24, it's 24 to 70, the 21.8 for the astrophotography.
I absolutely love it. So by day you've got the wildlife and nature, and at night you've got the astrophotography. Tell me, so out of your cameras, which one is your absolute favorite go-to camera?
I think the Z9. It can do everything. Everything. It's from wildlife to astro. I can trust the camera for the reliability. I can trust the camera for the ISO sensitivity. I trust the camera. Whatever it happens inside the wildlife or inside the jeeps of the Masai Mara, I can trust the camera.
You see, that's a big thing with those of you that are out there. You know, there are so many different cameras on the market right now.
Exactly.
You can go cheap, you can try, but ultimately it's about knowing that your camera is going to do what it needs to do. And that's, I think, a big thing.
Exactly, but I think it's not about the cheap or the expensive, it's about the manufacturer. I use the Z9, the Z8, I use the Z6 III, I use the Z50 in the wildlife. I never got a camera bad with me when I was outside in the wildlife photography. And we are in the wildlife photography, the camera is exposed to everything. You are not going through any controlled environment. You have the dust, you have the humidity, you have the hot and then cold weather, you have everything. So with the camera with you, it needs to survive to the last of the trip. I never had a camera bad on me with any trip, expensive or cheap. It's about the capabilities of the camera. When you buy more, you get more, capabilities from the body you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, and just those of you that are potentially new to the Nikon range that are, joining in, with regards to it, the Nikon Z series is the new mirrorless camera.
Exactly.
So what's nice about it is you've got the world's largest mounting system, allowing for better light, sharper images. So that's one of the key features with regards to it. The stabilization, everything is great. So talking about features, what is your favorite feature on your camera, on your Nikon camera?
I start with my favorite feature on a lens, the 400 2.8. This is why I totally was going for the 400 because of the teleconverter, built-in teleconverter. In the past, if you have a prime lens, you cannot have that flexibility. So if the frame changes, if the animal gets closer, if whatever happens, you are not going to take the shot. But right now with the 400 with the built-in TC, I have two lenses with the price of only one lens. So I have the 400 2.8, I have the 600 f4. So I can do a lot of frames because also in the wildlife, it's all about the composition and framing. You are not just taking portraits. I'm not the one that taking portraits for the animals. I do it, but not a lot. I do usually wide environmental shots. So I need a lens that can give me flexibility. In the past, I used the 100 400, the 180 600. It's giving flexibility, but I'm losing the light. So this is one of the best features I have right now for the 400 2.8. And one of the best features I have in the Z9 is the seamless interaction that I can take the video feed for a recorder and I'm recording a video while I'm taking photos. It's a beast. It's a beast. For the ISO sensitivity, for the frames, frame rate is a very important thing if you are doing wildlife photography. It's the difference between having the shot or not. So 20 or 30 or 120 frames, that's a lot. That's a lot of frames.
I totally agree with you. And I've got so many questions to ask you with regards to this, because we're going to ask for tips as well. So with regards to your setup right now, I want to get a tip with regards to, you mentioned composition.
Exactly.
So when you see a shot and it's an animal that's it moves quite quickly, and do you set up the exact shot, or do you set up slightly wider knowing that you can crop in?
Actually, this is something that you're gonna have it by experience. So when I started doing wildlife photography, I usually take a very wide shot, then I do the composition after this by cropping. Right now, it is not that, I don't do this, because when we have something in the wildlife photography called the animal behavior. So when you have a knowledge about the animal behavior, you know how they will move. So you are expecting the future, you are reading the future. So you can take a photo in the future. So you know that the composition is moving in this direction, so you can take the photo, exact photo. I just adjust very slight things in the photo in the framing right now. You don't want to lose these megapixels. If you crop, you are losing megapixels, you are losing quality. So this is what I do right now. I try by the 400. If it's a very wide, I'll crop a little bit by the teleconverter. If it's very tight, I'll go away by reducing the teleconverter also.
Now, a tip with regards to that, because I know a lot of you that are potentially watching with wildlife. What happens with depth of field, especially when you're wide open? So those of you that are wondering what I'm talking about is your aperture, your f2.8s, and those kind of things. Sometimes people don't know what aperture to start on. What aperture do you normally look at, depending on the size of obviously the animal? Tell me how you work out your depth of field and what you want.
Okay, the depth of field actually is gonna change according to the distance between you and the subject. So when the animal is coming directly to you or your subject is coming directly to you, you are losing depth of field. You're starting to lose depth of field, so you have to start going up with your f-stop. The one thing that you need to know that at 400, at 2.8, your depth of field is razor sharp.
Yeah.
If the animal is close and filling the frame, you're gonna get only one eye in focus. So you try to go like 5.6, f8, and this is a consideration also you have to take when you are doing the wildlife photography, if you wanna have the background or not. Because if you don't, it's distracting, it's not that good, you can go 2.8 and lose the background, it's not a problem. But if you need to give this depth of field or you give the layers, you need to go up by the f-stop. Usually 7.1 or f8 is going to be enough for everything you're going to do.
Great advice. I love that. It's really, really good. And those of you that have got questions, make sure if you want to ask some questions, add it in the comments. We're going to see if you can maybe answer some of the questions on this live feed, if that would be great. So it's really exciting. Those of you that are watching, we are here at Exposure Expo. It is absolutely phenomenal. The Nikon stand is really, really beautiful. So if you want to come have a hands-on look at what we're doing here, obviously meet some of our guests, as well as see some of the latest gear by Nikon, make sure you come join us here. So back again to you. So now tell me, have you ever used the Nikon's animal focusing, eye focusing? Or?
For sure, I use it a lot.
And how have you felt it's working? Is it working great for you?
To be honest with you, in our generation, it's like having a cheating code. I started with DSLRs. It was very difficult to have subject in focus. And if you missed, you missed. That's it. Right now, with the new cameras, with the eye detection, you can, sometimes when I raise the camera around the tree, the camera can detect something I cannot see. And that's very weird, to be honest with you. You can see that there is a bird here. So right now, you only need to focus about your composition, about your final frame. In the past, you think about a lot of things, especially the focus. You need to expect where the animal will be to put your focus on, and you need to interfere with manual focus a lot. Right now, I canceled the autofocus ring. The manual focus ring, I only use autofocus. Totally.
Unreal.
Totally.
Beautiful. Have you noticed a big change, obviously, from the older lenses into the new Z lenses?
That's a lot of change. To be honest with you, from the most of the Nikon lenses from the past or now is phenomenal in the picture quality. But the one thing that is right now is very totally changed is the video capabilities of the camera. Right now, you can do videos. I do a lot of videos for reels for my wildlife photography. In the past, you can see or you can hear the lens hunting and going back and forth. The autofocus wasn't designed for this, wasn't designed for the video. Right now in the new cameras, it's a seamless experience. I can take videos for animals, for chases, for everything. Totally 100% accuracy for the autofocus.
Love it. So those of you that are out there, you're going to see this trend a little bit more in the talks that we're going to be doing later on as well. So a photographer doing some video.
Exactly.
How are you enjoying the video side of things? I can hear you loving it, but how much have you introduced it now that it's so easy and seamless?
To be honest with you, in the past when I was using the older cameras and lenses, I never thought about taking videos. But right now, when I try and see the qualities that the cameras can offer, like 8K, 8K is not for 8K, it's for cropping. I can take a very far away subject and crop it digitally, and I can have the same quality. So that's a big thing to have in the camera. I can do like log footage, and I can do the after color grading after this, and I have phenomenal colors. I can keep the shadows and the highlights at the same time. It's giving me like a cinematic experience for the videos or the short videos I do.
Just for a flick of the switch. That's
Exactly. You flick a switch,
Done.
you're totally doing a cinematography.
And those of you that are out there that are watching, what's really nice about it, I don't know if you did it when you first started, but Nikon offers free training and workshops. So have a look at Nikon School because there is that option. It's really, really great.
Exactly.
I did a course yesterday with food photography, which was great. So the other thing I want to give you on a tip on, I'm just going to add on to that. Those of you that are shooting, especially with the Z9, Z8, a lot of information is going through that camera. So what you need to look at is look at the memory card you're using, because if you are using a slow memory card, it doesn't handle the actual data transfer. So
Exactly.
you're going to see it's going to give you a warning for heating. The cameras can hold it. It's the card that's a challenge. So make sure you go and check that out, especially if you're shooting video and you're shooting that high frame rate. So you have to tell me your favorite one lens, favorite one camera only.
If I'm gonna stay with one camera and one lens for the rest of my life, I pick the 400 2.8 with the Z9.
Brilliant.
Can do whatever I want to do.
It's just that versatile.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to, before I get onto these little questions that I've got here, I've got
Sure.
it hidden here, but I'm going to talk to you about it, is tips out there for anyone looking at getting into wildlife photography or photography. Give them 3 tips.
I will start with the first one. I think it's the most important one. It's redundancy.
Okay.
Don't lose your data for a memory card or a hard disk. Every data you have, like photography, videography, should be kept in at least 2 places or 3 places at least. This is what we do when we go for wildlife photography. You have 2 memory cards in the camera, you have 2 replacements, you have 2 card readers because if one go bad, you can have another one. And when you do the backup, you take these photos, put on 3 different hard drives, one in my bag, one in the luggage bag, and one in the laptop bag. So if anything happened for one of the bags, I have the other 2 copies available. These trips, or when you go for wildlife trips, it can cost you a lot. The value of this trip is the photos. You cannot go back without photos. That's a big problem.
Brilliant. But now you have to give me 2 more. So redundancy, give me another 2.
The second one is to practice. When I started going to Masai Mara, I noticed something that I wasn't that sharp with the gear. Because where I'm living, I do the photography when I have time. So I'm not that sharp. When you go there and a fast action happens, you're gonna lose it. I tried it myself. So from the first trip, I have like 50% success rate. From the second trip, I have like 70% success rate. By the third trip, I have like 100% success rate.
Love it. And the last tip?
The last tip is don't think about your gear as much as you think about the photo. I took a very good photos with the D5200. I take a good photos with the Z6 and Z7. I take a good photos with the Z9 and Z8. When you go up with your career in photography, you can upgrade your gear. Just start with the gear you have, and by the time, you can do a very good photos and videos with a more premium gear.
Got it. Absolutely love that. Thank you so much for your tips. I've got some questions, but before that, I need to give the audiences your social, what's it called, links. So please give that to them.
My Instagram account is Ahmed__Rashed. That's my Instagram. That's what I use a lot here.
Okay. So these are some quick questions right now.
Sure.
I kind of know what you're going to say, but let's just test it anyway. Okay, because we're going to ask all the people that. So we know your favorite camera, Z9 and 400mm.
Exactly. My favorite camera and my favorite lens.
Got it. Then DSLR or mirrorless?
For sure mirrorless. For sure mirrorless.
Natural or artificial light?
Usually I use natural light. I never use artificial light.
Prime lens or zoom lens?
In the past, I used to say the zoom lens is gonna give you a lot of flexibility and things like this. Right now, totally prime.
Love it. Just to add a tip on with regards to that, again, and I agree with you, those of you that are looking at getting into primes, don't jump into prime lenses too quickly because you need to know your distances, you need to know what you're working in, what space you're working in. So it's a zoom lens is great to practice on, get going. I still use a lot of them for certain things, but when you know that and you're sure, like you are and you're a professional, go with the primes. It looks great.
When you have also a zoom lens, you can go to Lightroom catalog and you can do search by the focal length that you are taking photos on. Check the most of the photos, which focal length you are using. 400, go for the 400. It's a 600, go for the 600. Because not every length is suitable for everybody. Me, as I do wildlife photography, general wildlife photography, I need the 400. I need the extra stop of light for the 2.8. If you are doing birding photography, you can go 600 f4.
Got it.
It's gonna be very close for you if you are using the 600, especially in the trips like Masai Mara and things like this. The car can get very close. You cannot go back, but you can crop sooner.
I love it. Your post-processing, sorry, this isn't part of it. What post-processing do you use? What programs?
Usually I use Lightroom.
Okay.
I never do anything with the Photoshop. Just image resizing, anything like this, but I don't add anything or remove anything from the photo. Get a clean shot, get a perfect composition, get a perfect frame, you're gonna use it.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, tripod or gimbal?
Tripod or gimbal? Gimbal.
Okay, gimbal. Okay, handheld shooting or stabilized?
Usually I use handheld.
The cameras, I mean, now with the Z series, everything's so much smaller, it's so much greater, so definitely can do that. Manual focus or autofocus?
Never manual focus, autofocus totally, all the time.
Love it. You did mention it earlier. Do you choose 4K or high frame rate?
4K or high frame rate?
So from a point of view, are you going to use, would you go quality over a higher frame rate?
I can have both in the camera. I can use 4K at high frame rate. I use 4K at 120. Then in the post-production, I can slower, get higher. I can do whatever I want. So I can use 4K at 120.
I love it. I love it. You've got such a great personality. I love chatting to you. I want to know, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
One of the craziest things that ever happened to me, one of the closest encounters with one of the lions. I was out of the car taking photos. I felt like something breathing behind me. When I looked like this, it's just standing like this, just 50 centimeters from me. My guide kept shouting, don't look at the eyes, don't look at the eyes. Stay still, stay still. So I kept outside carrying the 400 with the Z9. My hands shaking like this, and I cannot move. I stayed like this for 2 minutes. When he just flinched like this, I came back in the car. That was one of the baddest encounters of my career.
I'm already sweating my hands because I know those lions, they don't play games.
Yeah, they don't play games.
That is unreal. But thank you so much for today. I just want to give them one more time, those of you that are watching, give them your social handles if you don't mind.
My social handles, Ahmed Rashed, Ahmed AHMED _ Rashed RASHED. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful chatting to you.
Same
Thank
for
you,
me.
sir.
Thank you so much.